So the last rule that we're going to make is kind of two rules rolled into one. So if you're taking some number to a power, how do you distribute this power over the two numbers in there? So to take a simple example, suppose we've got AB cubed. So we have a product here to the power of n, so we're going to look at a product a by b to the power of 3. So that's ab by ab by ab. Now it doesn't matter what order you're multiplying, but we're multiplying everything together. It doesn't make a difference whether you go 2 by 3 by 7 or 7 by 3 by 2 or 3 by 7 by 2. So we can rewrite this as a by a by a by b by b by b, and that's just a cubed by b cubed. So as long as you're multiplying these numbers, you can just bring the power in on each of them. So this is a to the n by b to the n. Okay? And the exact same thing holds if you get a over b. So we'll take a different power this time. We'll say to the power of 4. That's a over b by a over b by a over b by a over b. Now, hopefully, we don't cross multiply ever. So we won't go, we're not going to cross multiply because that's not something that we do. When we're multiplying fractions, you multiply the top lines together, you multiply the bottom lines together. So when we multiply the top lines, we get a to the power of 4, a by a by a by a. We multiply the bottom lines, we get b to the power of 4. So again, if you have a power outside a fraction, you can bring it in on each of the constituent parts. So a over b to the power of n is a over n, sorry, a to the n over b to the n. Alright, so that's pretty much the last formula that we're going to meet. Now, just to be careful, this won't work if you have a plus b to the n. So a plus b to the n is a whole different thing. If you have a plus b to the n, you cannot bring the power of n in there. And just think of a plus b squared. So a plus b to be squared is not a squared plus b squared. You have to do the bracket, write the bracket down twice, multiply it out, and you end up with a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So if you have a plus in there, you can't just go bring the power in. If you've the two things multiplied, because powers are all about just multiplying stuff together. So if the two numbers are already multiplied, and you're just multiplying that number together a couple of times, like here we're multiplying ab by itself, and then by itself again, then there's no problem rearranging things and writing that as a cubed times b cubed. So, an example then using this, we'll start off, I suppose, with the fairly reasonably straightforward example. So, suppose you take something like 125 to the power of a third, 125 over 8 to the power of a third. So, this is 125 to the power of a third over 8 to the power of a third. Okay, so if you have a power and a fraction, you can put it in on each a little bit. And now we just need to remember what a power of a third means. So you can look up your log tables if you like. And the log tables will tell you that a to the power of 1 over n is the nth root of a. That's the log tables will say. Because we have 1 over in our power. So then that's the cube root of 125 over the cube root of 8. So if you remember, we had a list, so 2 cubed is 8, so that's our bottom line, that's great. 3 cubed is 27, so that's no good. 4 cubed is 64, that's no good. 5 cubed, 5 by 5 by 5 is 125, so that's 5. So the answer then is 5 over 2. Okay, so bring the power in on each of on the top line and on the bottom line. If you've a 1 over in the power, you're looking at some kind of a root. And then you go and you find what the root is. Alright.